And welcome back, everyone, to part 3 of What If Yugi Moto was the lead of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. We left off with the arrival of the Shadow Riders. Atticus, I can't remember what his moniker was. Was it Darkness? I know Darkness is like the main bad, like the final boss of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but I can't actually remember what his moniker was when he was a Shadow Rider. That being said, he defeated Atticus. I would think Yugi and the Fair would actually be pretty okay, just due to the fact that they beat Atticus very quickly in that episode. And so the next most important plot relevant duel, in my opinion, is the Field of Screams duel with Camula. Now, before I say, well, what about the one with Kaiba Man? There's no plot relevancy to that one. That is a filler one, very much simply due to the fact that the Kaiba Man even says, "Yeah, you were never in any real danger. Don't worry, Yuki. Just because I look like Seto Kaiba, it does not make me as big a jerk as Seto Kaiba. Well, not as big a jerk. Blue Eyes White Dragon." My Kaiba's pretty decent, but yeah, the next big matchup would be Camula versus Yugi. And the match would start, and she immediately start out with Illusion Gate. However, because Yugi's got both that coin, which would help maybe resist the magic of would help resist the magic of it and kind of like negate the negative effects on his friends, as well as having the Millennium Puzzle, which, admittedly, the Millennium items can't negate the effects of a Shadow Game. They can start one, but they can't like dispel one. The Shadow Game starts and it doesn't end until you're done. However, when you factor that also in with the boundless energy of a Tem that's supposed to be locked in there, I have a feeling, because this is not the same as a Shadow Game per se, I actually have a feeling the Millennium Puzzle should have enough power in it to be able to negate the effects. At least to protect Yugi's friends to a certain degree. So Camula would then offer her soul up. The effect still activates, destroying every card on the field. However, Yugi would, and then summoning a destroyed creature. In this case, it would have been Skilled Dark Magician in this case that I randomly drew up. There's also Zombie Werewolf, but Yugi also had some Magic Cylinder set down. So 21 points of damage. Yugi takes 28. Yugi also had Breaker the Magical Warrior in his hand. This basically allowed him to destroy Illusion Gate. So, because Illusion Gate is not immune to card destruction. I looked the card up, and when I was looking this up, it's not immune. And then it would just be a lot of back and forth. Yugi would probably be put on the back burner, and ultimately find a way out through, most likely, through Black Luster Soldier, who would either remove or just completely destroy like her main boss monster. So that would be the end of that. There'd be a lot of filler going on here. I actually don't think the Amazon Shadow Duelist is an important duel. Yes, it's a duel that Jaden had, and yes, she is a Shadow Rider. But in the grand scheme of things, I actually don't view it as an important duel. Maybe because there actually really wasn't a threat. I mean, yes, she still would have gotten to unlock the piece to unlock Sacred Beast. Yes, but I don't see her as a threat because she's not really villainous. In fact, she was just looking for a boyfriend is what she was looking for. So I don't really see that being the case here. So I actually don't think that's relevant. And again, the rest of what's going on at this time is kind of inconsequential. There's no real big relationship stuff going on. I mean, there's the whole get your duel on, which, don't get me wrong, I love the get your duel on. I do love the captain of the Underwater Duel Academy. I think that's kind of cool. And he's a pirate, just tries to literally steal Jaden. But no, it's not going to be relevant here. What would be relevant, though, is the last Shadow Rider, Amno. Now, it is I think words here. It is actually Dr. Oh God, why am I blanking on his name? Is it not Bastion? That's Dr. Is it not Crowler is the other guy, the Gear Golem guy. The ancient Gear Golem! Now, but why am Banner? Dr. Banner, almost like Bruce Banner, alter ego kind of thing. So this would be interesting. It's like you understand, Yugi, that every duel you've had up until now has been my own device. You only ever thought you won, but no, you won't have no actual skill as a duelist. Yugi, don't listen to him. It's not true. And see the difference with someone like I think Amnail versus the other ones is because of how A, he's the strongest one of them, and B, I think he might be able to actually see the pharaohs. I see, so it's true. The rumors of the Millennium Puzzle are true. The ancient pharaoh, whose name has long since been forgotten, rests within them. Rests within it, doesn't it? It's like I don't know who you think you are, Amnel, but I can tell you I've been with Yugi far longer than you've ever known him. And his courage and bravery stands above everyone else, even my own. So I will not let you poison his mind with doubt. And Yugi's probably got tears in his eyes. He's like, right, let's show him what the duel is really about. Ah, yes, show me then, Yugi. And so their duel would begin, and the direct attacking monsters certainly would be problematic. However, at one point, Yugi would probably have Mirror Force face down on the second turn. Not at one point. He probably has Mirror Force down, so the second time they come for the direct attack, Yugi does Mirror Force, wiping them out. Yugi probably would come in with a major monster, probably either a breaker or I believe I remember putting a Gazelle in there for the draw. Summons Gazelle, attacks directly. Ultimately, he summoned the Golden Homunculi, which I believe when he summoned it, or at least he tries to attack, but that elemental barrier is problematic. The only upside is Yugi actually has a lot of dark and quite a few light monsters in his deck. So if he draws a light or dark monster, it's actually going to help negate that pretty well. They would be going back and forth. Ultimately, once again, he's able to bring out his ace. In this case, I think it'd be Dark Magician of Chaos, and is able to basically overwhelm Banner. Also by using Soul Release, which would be in the deck, and basically able to win the day through a combination of wit and grit. I didn't even need to make that rhyme. The follow-up duel would be the Sacred Beast battle, and this would be a struggle, no doubt about it. Now, I think this would be problematic just because how quickly the Sacred Beasts get out. It's like, all right, no, and you have the Superintendent Kagemaru. She's like, no, then Yugi, your dual energy is more than enough to give me my body back, this youth, this vitality. But there's more to it than that. I don't want simply your dual energy. I want all the dual energy of the world, and even more, the power of your puzzle. I'll win it fair and square, but I'm not a monster, Yugi. I want it fair and square, so I'll be taking that in the It'll be my prize for beating you. The boundless energy of the unnamed pharaoh. And so Yugi would be struggling until he draws the Philosopher's Stone, which allows him ultimately to pick 3 different cards and turn in 3 different cards. And more or less, Yugi does this. He goes Monster Reborn, slicing his life in half. He gets attacked. He's able to basically use a counter card in the form of insert trap card here. Ultimately, what Yugi's end of play is like, you're not the only one with a dragon on their side. It's like, oh, what are you talking about? I sacrificed my 2 monsters to summon my ultimate beast, Gandora, the Dragon of Destruction! Which, oddly enough, I actually do have a Gandora. I don't have, the upgrade version because I don't think they ever made that. And, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to actually get Gandora up here right now. Gandora, the Dragon of Destruction. I know in Dark Side of the Dimensions, he has an upgraded version of it. Gandora, the Dragon of Destruction. The Dragon of Destruction. Alright, so I gotta remember exactly what the effect of Gandora is. Because, to be fair, they're not immune to this effect. The Sacred Beasts do not have a immunity to this effect. Hell, one of my favorite cards, recently is a nemesis of something or other. It's the dragon. You sacrifice the 3 different attributes. It can just wipe the field and can't be destroyed. It can still be targeted with banishing effects or bounce effects. Okay, so Gandora is, you cannot be special summoned. You pay half your life points as destroy as many cards on the field as possible other than this card. And if you do, banish them. This card gains 300 attack for each card destroyed this way. Once during the end phase of this card being normal or flip summoned, send it to the graveyard. So basically, Yugi would wipe the 3 sacred beasts out. There's also, I believe, the field spell Kagemaru had out, because I believe he had that out. So that's 4 cards right there. Not to mention the few cards that Yugi probably has on the field. More or less, Gandora just wipes the field, board wipes it. And then maybe Yugi plays like a premature, or maybe that's when he plays Monster Reborn. Either way, he summons out Gandora and makes sure to have like Dark Magician right by his side, and they simultaneously just blast Kagemaru away. It's like, no! It's like, you lost, Kagemaru. Your plan is over. It's like, no. It's like, yeah, but you don't need to steal the power of people to duel. You are dueling great on your own, even for an older guy. And like, you're right. Look at me, I'm standing. Way to go! Ah! I still remember that. And so, yeah, that just leaves one final duel, though. The graduation match. Now, this one gets tricky, folks, not gonna lie. Yugi, being a very strategic individual, decides, it's like, I'll let you go first. Oh, very well. I play Polarization. I bring out a Cyber and Dragon, and I'll play my capsule from a different dimension. And I set 1 card, and I end my turn. So, Yugi's already up shit's creek a little bit here, but he's not down and out. So, Yugi draws, and his opening hand here actually consists of Buster Blader, Draw a Fate, Poly, Dark Curtain, Wadapon, and Graceful. Activating Graceful, he basically got, what did he get? He got Sengen, Old and Vindictive Magician, and Pot of Greed. So he discards those 2. He discards Wadapon and Sengen, not useful. He has Old and Vindictive Magician, which is basically a Man-Eater bug. In fact, there's no basically about it. It's just a Spellcaster Dark Man-Eater bug, which would kill it, but he's not willing to take 3,600 just to kill the damn thing. Unfortunately, he also has Pot of Greed. Now, Pot of Greed, he gets Magic Cylinder, and he gets Magician Valkyrie. He also has, as I said, he also has a few other cards to go on. So he sets Magic Cylinder. He plays Dark Curtain, bringing out Dark Magician, putting his life down to 2,000 already. And then he plays Draw of Fate as his final card. He puts 3 cards on the top of his deck, randomly draws 1, looks at it, and he ends his turn. Now, it's Zane's turn. He draws. He has a Cyber and Dragon. Attack Dark Magician. I activate Magic Cylinder. Cylinder, Zane. Now the damage will go back to you, and this duel is over. Not so fast. I activate Diffusion. Diffusion? Yes. Now my dragon gets split into the 3 original dragons. Sorry, Yugi, but you're going to have to do a lot. I won't be falling for that trick. I won't be falling for a trick like that again. Because that's kind of how he got him in their first duel. Should note that Zane has probably really been itching for this rematch, because in this version, remember what I did in the first round, Zane lost. And that's probably the first big loss Zane has actually ever taken here. Now, Zane removes card from a different dimension from play. In addition, and it is added to his hand during the standby phase. The second effect of it allows both players to draw 2 cards. Yugi draws 2, and he draws 2. Now, that being said, it's Zane's turn. So I'm just looking at everything that's available. I actually literally have the duel listed in front of me here right now. Oh, there we go. And so Zane actually doesn't have a lot of options here, because, yeah, he actually has to move his dragons into defense, but he sets a card and ends his turn. It's now Yugi's turn. Yugi draws. Yugi removes Wadapon, and he removes saying it for his graveyard, someone blackluster soldier, envoy of the beginning. But Yugi's not quite done here. It's like, I'm ending this now, Zane. I can't afford you to let you bring out that cyber end dragon. I play polymerization using my Buster Blader in my hand with my Dark Magician. It's like, no, you still can only attack once. You still can only attack once, Yugi. Not quite, Zane. It's like, what? It's like, I activate Diffusion Wave Motion by sacrificing 1,000 life points. One of my spellcasters with over 2,000 attack points can attack every monster on your side of the field. It's like, ugh. And he activates it. Now, should note, there is one other ability that Dark Paladin has. Because at this point, and by the way, snap my fingers down. Zane would be down to a grand. Zane's still kicking. Now, Dark Paladin. There you go. Dark Paladin. Dark Paladin. Paladin. Okay, there you go. Should note that Dark Paladin has one extra effect, as I said. Now, if I remember correctly how the effect goes, it is you discard a card from your hand. And this card cannot be targeted by spells or traps on the field. But you discard a card from your hand, and you negate a spell or trap on the field. I'm pretty sure it's just spell, but I'm finding that out now. Against 500 of your deck, you can discard one card and negate the activation. You can discard one and negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. What the hell? When a spell card's activated. Okay, so Return Soul will still activate. Unfortunately, at this point, Zane, he's completely playing. He's completely on the back foot now. He doesn't really have a good way of bringing everything back, and Yugi's got literally 2 beat stick monsters with busted effects, which is busted effects. And so Yugi would have his turn, and Zane, I think this would be basically an opposite. While Zane was spiritually carrying on over his crown as the best duelist in the school to Jaden, I think here he just openly admits it. Like, he just, smiles and lets Yugi attack him, and it's game. And so he actually just goes up and says, I acknowledge you as the best duelist in this school, Yugi. Yugi, regardless of your standing or your grades, you are the best. I hope you take solace in the fact that you're the only one that I ever acknowledged could beat me. I look forward, but don't think it's over. This is over, because eventually you're gonna. I'm sure you'll find your way to the pros. When you do, I won't be the same Zane as before. Isn't that a scary fact? So, it's like, you are truly a great rival, Zane. If it wasn't for the heart of the cards and clever thinking, you really would have had me there. And so they share a manly grab him by the wrist handshakes, like, ugh. And that is the end of part 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. So, join us again next time for the beginning of part 2, dealing with Aster Phoenix, Sartorius, and Society of Light. By the way, you will quickly see next time around there will be a change in Yugi's deck makeup. I felt it was appropriate through each season, or every season, to kind of update the decks, because Jaden's decks got updated each season. Particularly with the big update was combining the Neospatians with the Elemental Heroes, which was this coming season. Now, are we going to be doing the Neospatians? Obviously not. Are we going to be doing some, but we're going to keep it in line with Yugi, and Yugi's gone through upgrades in his deck before, so this is not unreasonable. It's not unreasonable to think that we could figure out something here as well. So that's for next time, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.